I want to think now about Bitonic sort. Right. Now, problem is that I remember something about Bitonic sort, but I don't recall exactly how it looks like. And so I'm not going to refer to any textbook or papers, but I would like to try to rediscover Bitonic sort. Right. Now the first thing is to recall back what is a Bitonic sequence. Okay, I'm going to give an example. Okay, this is what I can remember. Okay, what is a Bitonic sequence? Now, suppose the numbers that I have are 11, 13, 16, say 35. Okay, excuse my writing. And okay, after that we have 6, 15 maybe. 15, 4, 3, 1. Right. Now, what can you see in this sequence? Okay, we have 11, 13, 16, 35. Okay, this is an increasing subsequence. I mean, the order of this subsequence is in ascending, and we have this subsequence 15, 14, 3, and 1. Now, as you can see, this is in a descending order. Now, so we have the ascending part and we have the descending part. Now we call this a Bitonic sequence, right? Okay. Now let us consider the problem of sorting this Bitonic sequence, this example that we have. Right. So I'm going to erase this. Okay, so let's see how we can sort this Bitonic sequence. So what we are going to do first of all, okay, let's consider the length of this sequence. Now as you can see, the length here is 8, right? Okay, so I'm going to write here, length is 8. Now, we're going to draw arrows, okay? Right, but before that, okay, the length is 8, so half of 8 is 4, okay? So this first half is the increasing subsequence, and the second half is the subsequence with a decreasing order. Right. Now, we're going to draw arrows, the size of which is 4. Now, how does this arrow looks like? Okay, so we're going to draw it here. Okay, length of 4. Now, why do I say that this is an arrow of a length of 4? This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? This arrow, it denotes a comparator, okay, which means that we're going to compare based on the direction of the arrow. Okay, so specifically we're going to compare the numbers at the tail of the arrow with the number at the head of the arrow. Now we have this arrow of length 4. Now we're going to have 4 of these arrows, so we're going to draw it here. Another arrow here, and another arrow here. So we have 4 comparisons or comparators, right? And all shown in the form of arrows. Now let's do the comparison. Okay, let's take a look at these arrows one after another. Okay, 11 and 15. Okay, 11 and 15, what can you say? Okay, which is bigger? Of course, 15 is bigger than 11. So we just rewrite it without changing anything. Okay, and then 13 and 4. Now which is bigger, 13 and 4? Of course 13 is bigger, so we do a swap. So 4 shall be here and 13 shall be there. Now 16 and 3, okay, we do a swap. 16, right? Now 35 and 1, we do a swap. 1 here and 35 there. Alright. So we have this 11, 4, 3, 1, 15, 13, 16, 16, 35. Alright. Now, the length of... Okay, what we're going to do next is this, okay? We are going to do this comparison recursively. Now, what is meant by recursively is that, again, the part which is recursive. Now, look here, the length here is 4, right? The length of this arrow is 4, 4, and 4. Now, let's reduce by half the lengths of these arrows. So 4 divided by 2 is equals to 2. So we are going to draw arrows of length 2. 1, 2. Okay. Now length 2, we shall draw arrows in groups of 2. What I mean here is like this. Okay, this is one arrow, this is another arrow. Now this is one group of arrows. Now we draw another group of arrows, each of the arrow again being length of 2. So we have this now. Okay, so this is of length 2, length 2, length 2, and length 2. Well, again, we do comparison based on the where the tail and where the head of the arrows are. So let's take a look at these arrows one after another. So 11 and 3, we do a sort. Okay, so 3 becomes 3 is transferred to this location, and 11 is in this location. 4 and 1, we do a swap. Now 15 and 16 we maintain, and 13 and 35 we maintain. Okay, so we have this now. Right. And right, what do we do next? Okay, let me see. Okay, this is arrows of length 4. These are arrows, these are arrows of length 2. Okay, so let's do it again recursively. Okay, so 2 divided by 2, what do you get? You get 1, right? Okay, arrow of length 1, and this arrow, it is by itself. We have a set of size 1. Okay, this is another arrow, length 1, another arrow, another arrow. Now we do a swap, okay, based on the arrows that we have here. So what do we have? 1 and 3 we swap, 11 and 4 we swap, 15 and 13 we swap, 16 and 35 we maintain. Well, what do we have here? 1, 3, 4, 11, 13, 15, 16, and 35. This is a sorted sequence, right? But of course, in the example that we have just looked at, the sequence of numbers, they are already in Bitonic form. Now, what if we have a random sequence of numbers? Now, suppose we have something like this. Okay, I'm just going to randomly throw in some numbers. 16. Okay, I'm going to have 8 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now this is supposed to be 17. Right. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so what do we do with this sequence of numbers? They are not in the Bitonic form. Okay. Okay. So, well, this is what we do. Okay. We draw arrows like this. Okay. Now, and okay, what we are basically doing is that we think of these two as a Bitonic sequence. We think of these two as a Bitonic sequence, and the same goes here, and the same goes there. Okay, and aside from that, okay, so what we are doing here basically, okay, 35 and 15, okay, we are doing a Bitonic sort. Okay, we consider 35 to be the increasing order and 16 to be the decreasing order. And for 31 and 4 we do the same thing, but we reverse the direction of the sort. Okay, so the reason why we want to do that is that if we can sort this in increasing order, and if we can sort this in decreasing order, then what we are going to have is these 4 numbers, 35, 16, 31 and 4, they will become a Bitonic sequence, right? Increasing order and decreasing order. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, what we do now, okay, we repeat this. Okay, so one arrow here and another arrow there. Okay, I'm going to erase this so as not to confuse you. Okay, now let's do the sort. Let's do the swapping. Okay, so based on the arrows, we are going to do the swapping. 35 and 16, are we going to swap that? Yes, we are, because 35 is bigger than 16. 31 and 4 we maintain. 4 and 31 we maintain. Now 17 and 16, yes, we maintain this. So as I said earlier, what happened now is that these 4 has become a Bitonic sequence, right? And these 4 numbers, this subsequence now becomes a Bitonic sequence. Okay, can you see this? Right. Okay, what do we do next? Is this, okay, we just consider this Bitonic sequence one at a time. Sequences, I mean, one at a time. Okay, so this is Bitonic sequence 0, this is Bitonic sequence 1. My handwriting, okay, 1, right. Alright, so what do we do next is, okay, let's consider this Bitonic sequence 0. Okay, so this is of size 4. Now let us draw arrows of size 4 divided by 2, which gives me 2. Size arrows of length 2 in sets of 2. Okay, and we do the same thing here, but in the opposite direction. Why opposite direction? Because now that I have Bitonic sequences of length 4, I want now to create a Bitonic sequence of length 8, which means I want to make the whole sequence be a Bitonic sequence. Okay, right, good. Now 16 and 31, okay, we maintain that. 35 and 4, okay, we do a swap. Right. Okay, is this correct? Alright. Now 16 and 31 we maintain. 17 and 4 we do a swap. Right, okay. What do we have here? It doesn't look like I have a Bitonic sequence, right? Okay, this is 16, 4, decreasing, 31, 35. But I want this whole thing to be increasing, but it is not right now the way I want it to be. Okay, what do we do here? Alright, okay, let's do this. Okay, now we have here arrows of length 2, right? These are arrows of length 2. Now if you recall, okay, in our previous slide, there's something recursive about this Bitonic sort. Okay, so we have these arrows of length 2, so 2 divided by 2 equals to 1. So what it means is that we do comparison again for this Bitonic sequence 0 and also 1 as well, but with arrows of size 1. So we have this 1 in sets of 1, in groups of 1, this, okay, and we do the same thing for the Bitonic sequence 1. The arrow goes in this direction. So what do we have now? Okay, 16 and 4 we do a swap. 31 and 35, okay, we maintain. 17 and 31 we do a swap. 4 and 16 we do a swap. Well, now this is a Bitonic sequence, right? This is increasing order and this is in the decreasing order. Well, so now that we have this, well, we have seen how to sort a Bitonic sequence, right? So we just continue from there. Okay, and I leave it to you to do this. Thank you. Bye.